Welcome back to the Daily Factor. Now let's go outside of our border, and it's not that far away from us. It's in none other than in ESTWATINI. Of course, we have been seeing over the last 48 hours protests that have erupted. Of course, government forces firing shots and tear gases at the citizens of Swaziland. There's also been a dusk till dawn curfew which has been imposed. And there's also widespread reports that the nation's king, Mswati, has fled to South Africa. Well, joining me to discuss this, I'd like to welcome a former Fees Must Fall activist and somebody well known to South Africa, Mr. MCEBO DLAMINI. Mr. DLAMINI, good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon, brother, and good afternoon to the viewers at home.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Mr. DLAMINI, am I right in saying the seeds are being potentially planted for a ESTWATINI revolution?
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate that all of us, we are not on the ground. So we rely on what we see on TV. So we really don't know what is happening there, but indeed there is a revolution in Swaziland.
Mr. DLAMINI, from what you're hearing from a number of your friends in ESTWATINI, what's the current situation there? We've only been able to see footages coming out of social media. What have you been hearing that is currently happening in the kingdom?
Well, the situation is because shops have been burnt down. Government properties have been burnt. So from where we are standing now, the country has been burnt down, knowing the fact that how small Swaziland is. So with the fires and the way that they've been going, so you can literally say that there's nothing left there. And we can say that the anger of the people is justified. The issue that are being raised are genuine, but it leaves it is a cause for concern to say where to from now. What is now that all this has happened? What is the next thing? Are they all these Swazi people going to be refugees here in South Africa? Are they all going to be coming here and looking for jobs, knowing how South Africans are in terms of foreigners? And are our people going to be banned like all the other foreigners which are being banned in South Africa? Not long ago, we saw Swazi truck drivers being brutalized in KZN. Are all these Swazi people going to be coming here? And it's a cause for concern in as much as the issues that are being raised are genuine, but the issue is the aftermath. What will happen to our people tomorrow?
Mr. DLAMINI, the situation is quite simple. The citizens want political reforms. Are we going to see that in ESTWATINI? Can we have a scenario where the citizens push the current government and the kingdom into those political reforms?
Well, from a distance and from what we are hearing, it seems like it is political reforms. But from the people on the ground, it's mixed contradictions. Those who started the protest are speaking something else, and those who have an opportunity to speak to the media are saying something else, because initially the protest had nothing to do with a regime change, but it was on a student that was killed by the police, allegedly killed by the police, and the people wanted accountability. They wanted the government to take, to be accountable on the brutal killing. And then they are also raising issues of unemployment, unemployed youth, and all those kind of things. And also the opulence of the royal family. And these have been protests that have been taking part for the past 2 months. And it's not something that started last week as you see it. It has been brewing. Now then the pro-democratic movement are hijacking something that has been there, being led by the poor people in the rural areas. And these people who are now hijacking this thing are here in Johannesburg, in the comfort of the street of Bram, and then claiming to be speaking for the people who are back home suffering. That's where my problem is. So the issues on the ground are different from what is being portrayed in social media and everywhere. They are not speaking the same language. So we need people those who must speak. Even myself, I'm not in a position to speak because I'm not in Swaziland. I'm not eligible to speak for the people on the ground there. We can only speak based on hearsay. So I am reluctant, but I can only call for a dialogue to request that government extends a hand and listen to the people, because we can't afford to have a failed state like all the other Southern African countries. We can't celebrate when people are burning their country into ashes, when they were already having problems. Swaziland was already limping. I'm not going to be one of those people who then celebrate that we can't have a country anymore. We are going to be refugees here in South Africa and sleep in the pipes and be beggars and clean toilets for nothing with our degrees. Then I'm going to have a problem. We are seeing it in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is a shame. We are seeing it in Mozambique. We are seeing it in Lesotho. We can't celebrate when Swaziland goes the same route and celebrate that we are going to have refugees here and have my people selling on the streets and begging when they have land back home.
Mr. Dlamini, as an activist and somebody who was at the forefront of the Fees Must Fall movement back in the years of 2015 and beyond, just take us through, from an activist point of view, what, the pain that the people must be going through in Swaziland, because again, you're not there in Swaziland, but you potentially can say, I am in their shoes and I can understand what they're going through at this moment.
Well, we like I said, the issues being raised by the citizens, by the civilians, by people who are not politically affiliated, they are genuine. The issues are genuine. The issues need to be attended. The opulence of the opulence and extravagance of the monarch has been a cause for concern. People have been complaining about it. The lack of leadership in the country, people have been complaining for years now. So in as much as those things that we are talking about, even now, there is a leadership vacuum there. There is a vacuum from the people who are even leading the protest itself, because there is a lack of a consolidated voice and demands and a strategy to say, once you have banned, then what? You see, because they then need to be beginning to call for dialogue. They are not talking, they just banning, that's where the problem comes. That a revolution without leadership is a problem. A revolution without political ideology is almost as criminality. Just looting and banning and not providing direction to say this is what must happen. When this happens, this is what must happen. So there is a problem. Now, also there is a problem from government when structures are being banned, when all of these things are happening, government has not spoken yet, the monarch has not said anything yet, so there is not a leadership from both sides, someone who must take responsibility to say, let us talk, because from where they are now, the banning at some point must stop and people must talk. Sometimes you ban so that you call people into talking. So if you ban without an agenda, then you are a criminal. So if they have been banning to draw attention, I want to believe that they have the attention now. What do you do with the attention once you have had it? So engage. Let the dialogue begin. They can't ban forever. The banning can't go on. Because after the banning, they won't have food. As we speak, there is no shop that is operating in Swaziland. Literally no shop. Because they've looted your shop, right? Pick and Pay, you name it, there's nothing. The spaza shop. What are they going to eat tomorrow? What are they going to eat on Saturday? They've banned the water reservoirs, cut pipes. They will be cutting electricity, and that is a failed state. Even if you go into a transition with the democracy that they are crying for our people to say they want multi-party, the multi-party will be inheriting a failed state. Within 2 months, the people will be fighting the multi-party to say there are no jobs, there is no electricity, there is no water, there is no what, there is no food. Let there be a peaceful transition. Let there be dialogue. That's all I'm saying. The issues are genuine. They've made a statement. We've heard. Everyone might have heard by now. Let them engage. Let the engagement begin. Not unless you are you are fighting, you don't even know, they're not even in a position to engage, then we are going to have a talk.
Mr. Dlamini, we'd like to say thank you so much for making the time for us. We hope to have you again, just to, of course, give us additional updates from the ground when you do hear it of what is happening in Eswatini. And we hope for a peaceful transition and dialogue, as you say, for it to happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend.
Okay, it's an absolute pleasure. MCEBO DLAMINI, former Fees Must Fall activist and somebody whose heart is very close to the kingdom of Eswatini. Well, it remains to be seen what is going to happen with that part of Southern Africa, and are we going to have an end to the protests? They're coming up after the break. We're going to be shifting our focus to community news. Do stay tuned.